Hey, it's Tom from Pack Hacker. In this video, we're going to be comparing the Bellroy Venture Sling 2.5 with the Airday Sling 3. These are two of my favorite slings at the moment, and I want to talk about the differences between the two and which one that I would pick. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to our channel so we can keep bringing you content to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. All right, so kicking off the external components, both have a very minimal front. Air has these zipper pulls on each side, so you can hold onto this while you're zipping or unzipping. The zippered pocket up the front. Nothing here on the Bellroy, I don't think you really need it. You can also hang a carabiner clip off of here if you want, or something of that nature. But for me, I like to use the loop up here at the top on the Air sling. You can also hang this up on a hook or something like that. The Bellroy, there isn't necessarily any loops, but these play double duty. These two straps that attach to the sling and kind of self-compress it, so you can see there that it's wide right now. Maybe there's a lot of gear in there, but when it's more empty, you start to pull it, that starts to compress down, basically. If there's weight on this and you're holding the strap up here, it just automatically compresses. What that does is it creates a separate loop here for the carabiner clip as well, which I dig. I really enjoyed putting a carabiner clip right on there. So that's how that works. Let me just fold this up, set it to the side, or it's gonna just drive me nuts sitting over there unfolded. Okay, moving on to the back. There is a handle up here at the top for the Airday Sling 3, which I think makes a lot of sense considering that the Venture Ready, you can palm it pretty easy. This 2.5 liter size, at least I can, being a little bit of a bigger dude. Easily palmable. This, for me, not so much. So maybe you don't need a handle with the Bellroy, but it's better off on the Airday Sling 3. And I'll just stack these up on top of one another just to show the size. I've personally been liking the smaller size of the Venture Ready. I've been able to fit everything I need in there just right. And just really, it's the perfect size sling for me. And I've really enjoyed using it. I love the Airday Sling 3 as well, but it's just a little bit larger. All right, let's talk about the harness system and the straps real quick, coming up next. All right, comparing the straps, Air's is a little bit more technical, whereas Bellroy's is a little bit more refined in my opinion. So the hardware on Bellroy, it's aluminum. It feels really nice in the hand. It's structured. Air is a little bit more classic with that plastic buckle and plastic hardware going on. The strap width itself, you can see, I'll just hold these up next to one another. There you go. Bellroy's a little bit less wide, which I dig, and the Air has this rougher material, which I can definitely start to feel on my shoulder when I'm using it. Bellroy's a little bit softer seatbelt-like material. So this is basically, seatbelt. So nice and soft to wear and to use. And then both actually have a magnetic buckle here. And while I've been testing both of these have each come engaged about the same amount, disengaged without me really wanting them to. It's not that big of a hassle. I'm not riding a motorcycle typically or anything unless I'm on a rented moped, in Bali or something like that. But overall, if it comes disengaged, I just kind of put it back together. But both of them have this problem. So I kind of hope that sling companies come up with, or companies that are making slings come up with a bit better of a solution. So that's note there. But as far as comfort, this is okay for me. The Bellroy, I would totally go with this for this category. It's a little bit more comfortable to use. I don't think you need all the robustness of the Airday Sling 3 has, but these are still both really great to carry. And the way that the strap is anchored on here in an angle on both really helps the carry comfort. All right, so here's how the Day Sling 3 looks on me. If you want to see this fully loaded up, make sure to go check out our review, but I'll just put it up to the front as well. I do dig how this sits right down here at the hip. It's a nice slim profile as well, and it is quite comfortable, and I like where it sits. It's just a little bit bigger than the Bellroy Venture Ready. So here's the Bellroy Venture Ready. As you can see on me, it's a little bit smaller. We can still reorient it any way that we want. We can toss it on the back. Provides a really comfy fit. I do like the thinner strap as well. Talking about the secondary compartments, let's start with what's up here in the front. So Air opens up traditional to Air. They have a lot of like these split zippers that go across, and it creates a pocket down here. Not a ton of room at the top. They just sew it in right here, but ton of room down here at the bottom. There's a key clip and it's a large pocket. Bellroy is completely different. You open this up and it is split into two, although there's a key clip as well. So it's a bit of a different layout. Now in the Air Sling 3, this is where I keep my sunglasses right up here in the front. And in the Bellroy, there's a separate sunglasses area on the inside, which I'll show you. But this is a good place, you know, in the Bellroy to organize your gear. I like this fabric here, is very, very smart. It's like a triangular shaped piece of liner, but it not only opens up and splits both these sides out from one another, but it also stops it from moving too far open. But you can just see that volume in there. It's just, there's a lot of space inside of this thing if you want it to be, but it lays flat and compresses if you don't. Air takes, you know, it's longer and it's taller, but it takes a bit more of a slim approach. Although you can put items in here, I've just found that when you load up that main compartment, it's better off to have like thinner, you know, smaller things up here. Comparing the key clips, I dig both of them. Again, Bellroy's is gonna feel a little more refined with that heat shrink and the paracord, whereas Air's feels a bit more technical. This is actually a soft seatbelt-like material. I'd be curious about this material being on the exterior of the strap here, which is a little bit more rough. And then there's a carabiner clip here for the keys as well, which I dig. So both have a bit of a different vibe, but both kind of, you know, achieve the same goal. Then there are pockets in the back here. So this one is open from Air. I like that there's a Hypalon zipper pull here. Then we have like a paracord and pull on the rest of them. But that opens up and there's a good amount of space back here. It's a great place for a passport. So I just brought that, like another little measuring tool to show you how that fits inside. Of course, I usually am using a passport wallet a bit thicker. We'll use a passport because everyone knows what the size of it is. It's pretty universal. And this one actually goes up to the top too. There's space at the top. So you can really open this up and get access to the inside. The Bellroy similarly has a fabric welt, so that zipper pull can be hidden. So it's like, ooh, there's no pocket here. Wait, there is. You know, if you want a bit of extra security measure. Inside, both have bright liners, and then I'll stick the passport into this one as well. I just feel like this is just a little bit of a larger pocket here in the Sling 3. It's a little bit smaller and tighter on the Bellroy Venture. You know, just a little bit fits in there a little bit better. For my use case, again, when I was filling out the Bellroy Venture already, when I figured out the layout, it was just really, really smooth sailing from then on out, just because of the size of the things that I carry. So it might not be the better pick for you, or at least now I've been digging it. However, you know, based on what I'm carrying and what I'm carrying, like when I'm traveling, I like the smaller compact size a little bit more. Moving on to the main compartment, Bellroy offers two zippers, one at each side. So you can zip just a little bit to get to this side, or a little bit to get to that side, or all the way to fully open this thing up. So I dig that little bit of access. Air's goes here. It's also good if you're like a lefty or a righty, you wear it on different sides of your body. The zipper access is nice. Air's got this access just on one side, so that came all the way down. Also, we have weather resistant zippers on Bellroy going on both of the pockets here. These two, and then we just have weather resistant like a K zipper on this front zipper for Air, and then just a regular zipper here on the main compartment. So that's just something to note. Going to get a little bit of better weather protection through the zipper with Bellroy. And then opening these up, the layout is relatively similar inside. So we've got this whole back panel here on the Air Sling 3. Again, it's really big. So just throwing that passport in there, you can just see how much space we have at each side. And if I'm going to throw that passport into the Bellroy, you can see that's a little bit tighter, especially with this back pocket. I did find this on the Bellroy to be a little bit small, and there's like a very nice soft backing here and a bit of a thicker foam, which indicates this is like for tech and to protect your tech. So I did grab a phone too, so let's just see how that fits in there. It's the biggest iPhone you can buy at the moment, the 14 Pro Max. So that's really what that's for. That fits snug with the case on, fits really well in there. It fits well in the Air too as well, but you can see there's more space. So when I get my power bank and my phone in here and my notebook and other accessories, I do like the space that the Air Sling 3 provides a little bit more. But with some finagling, I get the same layout inside of the Bellroy Venture Ready, or just, pack stuff elsewhere. I usually have space left over inside of the Sling 3, which is great for those days where I'm just like carrying more stuff. But on average, this size works a little bit better for me. And then I'm gonna have the sunglasses pocket up here at the top of the Bellroy, so that holds things separately. You need a thin pair of sunglasses or you need to carry them outside of your case. I do like this, but it can obstruct getting to that main area, but it does keep them out of the crush zone, as Bellroy calls it. The rest is just one giant bucket in here, so you just put things where you want. When I'm using this thing, I do miss the segmentation that is offered inside of the Air Sling 3. There's a zippered pocket back here, so if you have like small dongles you don't want floating around, you stick them in there. On the Bellroy, I'm just kind of like, either putting them in a separate pouch that I put inside, which is what I've done when I was testing it, or just putting it up here in these front pockets. These front pockets are really gonna, help with the organization of your items. And then, yeah, 2 mesh pockets on the back here, 2 mesh pockets on the front. So you can get things a little bit more, organized inside of the Sling 3 and put them where you want them, so you always have access to where things are and always know where things are. I think it works a little bit better with items of different dimensions too, the Sling 3. But for me, the trade-off is like I can use a smaller bag and I'm okay with my AirPods just kind of sitting in here alongside of a couple other items. And if things get jostled around, it's still okay because I'm just sifting through like 3 or 4 larger items in this main compartment. So that's something to consider. If you want to open your sling and you want to just know where everything is at without even looking, Sling 3 is going to be better for that because you have these 4 dedicated pockets in the main area. But if you're okay doing a little bit of sifting for the smaller size, the Bellroy Venture Ready might be a good pick for you. So that's what's going on the inside of both of these. Really not much else to mention. I mean, we could talk about the liner. You got gray here versus a tan here, depending on the colorways that you choose. Things can change up between these two things, so make sure to check that out too. But yeah, overall, that's the main compartment of both these slings compared. So there you have it, the comparison of the Air Sling 3 and the Bellroy Venture Ready 2.5 liter sling. Let me know which one you're going with down in the comments below. We'll see you in the next video.